Namaste and welcome. This is the Earth Meditation Tribe, and we're having we'll call it a launch at Stokers Siding in the new octagon. And some of you know that in fact the original launch was at Temple Byron on 22/2/2022. Well, today is just as significant a date. Pratima tells me that 22/2/2022 was very significant, but she tells me also that today is also a significant date. And for those who may be listening elsewhere or overseas, it so happens that at about 4:30 today, there's supposed to be a full blood moon and a total lunar eclipse. I don't know much about this stuff, but we just so happen to have one of Australia's leading astrologers here, and I'm kind of hoping that she will put us in the loop. The second comment I should make to those watching elsewhere is that Steve's octagon is built in the shadow of Mount Warning. And as we look out there, if we were looking out this way past the bloodwood tree, and you're going to hear a story about the bloodwood tree in a moment, you would see the most stunning view of Mount Warning. We're kind of hoping that the gods clear the cloud, because we're getting a lot of weather here in Stokers Siding. It's not raining at the moment, but we're kind of hoping it clears so you can get a view. So the idea of this afternoon is that it's going to be a little bit fluid. I want to avoid creating a hard schedule of we've got to do this within these minutes, and someone's got to talk and then someone's got to sing. If you've got something to say or to make a contribution, you're very welcome to step forward. As I mentioned a moment ago, Steve's labour of love and this octagon happened over many months, and in a moment I'm going to ask Steve to come forward and he can tell you part of the story. And the story, of course, will include a story about the bloodwood tree that you can see at the entrance. It so happens that I also want to tell a story today, and it's about an old woman and a black dog who live in a cave. And for the sake of this conversation, yes, you guessed it, you can treat that cave as being nearby. So we'll see how I can fit that in to the afternoon, because my priority is in seeing so many great Dharma people here and meditation teachers here, not to mention our kirtan people. I want to keep this flowing without me being heard too much. Steve, that being said, would you like to share the story? And perhaps before we do, you can do it. I should do it this way. Can you just...
So as this is the first meeting of the Earth Meditation Tribe, which is really Greg's vision, which is connecting with Gaia and us connecting with each other in these very interesting times, I thought I'd tell you a very short story about when we were building this octagon and what happened. There's this very big tree here. It's a bloodwood. It's about 70 years old. And when I arrived on this property, it had barbed wire wrapped around it because farmers had cows in the paddock. And as we started to build this, this guy here is Peter Vogel. He's a very, very incredible German master carpenter and divine being. He's quite an enlightened guy, although he'd never say that. I'll pass that around. So when he was building this, as we built this, the whole vision, the whole energy of this place is a temple. And he's such a typical German master carpenter, that everything that he did was just perfect. If he did something a little bit out, he would not charge me for the day. So unbeknownst to me, in this corner of the octagon, closest to this tree, which is the bloodwood, which is only another 5 meters away from that corner, I didn't know, but apparently there was 4 or 5 mishaps on this part of the, closest to that tree, where things were not aligned right, things were not just coming together right in that spot. I went away for a long weekend, and then Peter Vogel was here working inside. He was on a step ladder, and then he just stepped off the ladder and he went, and he just landed on his face, and he just stayed down, and he said, okay, what's this about? Again on this corner. And he just stayed on the ground, and he just had a meditation, and then he was kind of showed that there's something wrong with the tree, that the tree's not happy. I come back on the Sunday night, and Monday morning over a coffee, he tells me about the incidents, and he said, look, I thought I was making mistakes, but I'm sure it's something more. And so I just want to talk about this, because when we talk about Gaia, how we communicate with Gaia and how Gaia communicates with us. So the tree, what he said, and he's very, very kind of tuned in guy, and he said, look, the tree has no way to communicate with us, but the elementals around the tree, which are spirit beings of the 4 main elements, they work with the tree, and they were basically just giving them a subtle message, and it was getting louder and louder. He said, we need to get somebody in to look at the tree, an arborist, and check it out. I said, okay. I came down, 10 minutes later, I put a ladder up on this side of the yard. It was an octagon. I climbed up the ladder, and then the ladder came back, and I just stepped off. But when I stepped off, there was a big gully that we had dug out, and I fell right towards the tree. My head landed in the gully right towards the tree. I said, okay. So then I got the arborist, a 5-star arborist, and he came out, and he looked at all the branches. He said, the tree's not happy. Something happened 6 months ago. And then he climbed up. He said, yeah, something's happened about 6 months ago. It's not happy. And then he looked down, and he saw that all the dirt was piled up on the core of the tree, where the tree meets the land. We had dug it out, and we put dirt. So we were covering up about 1 meter of the bottom of the tree. And what he said was that the tree, at the base of the tree, that where it breaks off, it's like the muscle of the tree. And so the tree's moving. I mean, that's a massive tree. And the tree moves, and it builds its muscle, just like this. And when you cover it, what happens is it cannot pull in the nutrients. It gets weak, and then it just dies and falls over. So that's just a bit of the story. We had removed the barbed wire, and Pete had me get some clay and some water and mix it up and put it on all the wounds, because when I took the barbed wire out, it was kind of oozing in those spots. But that's just a little short story, one of the stories, many stories I have of building this octagon, and how nature communicates with us. Subtly sometimes they knock us over so that we get a message, if we're aware enough to hear it. So that's the story. And this is the tree. It's right up there, but the people there, that's the clay. So the tree's very happy now. What is it?
Collar rot.
Oh, is it?
Happens to fruit trees a lot.
So now it's a very happy tree.
Very happy tree. Very happy.
We can, let's all, when we're meditating, let's all send lots of love to it.
Thank you.
Always surrounded by it.
Thank you, Steve. A few days ago I led a meditation at Temple Byron, and it was about touching the earth. And that is a meditation that's been designed by Plum Village in Thich Nhat Hanh, and more particularly the ex-Ar Buddhist in London. So briefly, I just want to make some comments about touching the earth. Thich Nhat Hanh says that in the practice of touching the earth, our body and our mind are perfectly united. And in doing so, we touch our ancestors, descendants, and all forms of life in the present moment. We touch the essence of being, and in doing so, we recognise that we are part of the earth and part of the life that continues on. So the practice is to return to the earth, to our roots. We are not alone, but connected to a whole stream of life. We touch the earth to let go of the idea that we are separate and that we have a separate self. We touch the earth to remind us that we are the earth. We touch the earth with the simplicity and the humility of a young child. And when we touch the earth, we become great like ancient trees, sending roots and drinking the source of energy from the earth. I'm thinking we'll share the story. It goes for only 7-8 minutes, of the old woman who lives in the cave with a black dog, because it kind of reinforces what Steve has just shared with us. And some of you know already, if you've read the website, that our tribe is about a return to the yin, a return to the great integrity. And when it's all stripped away, it's about a reconnection within, with each other, and with the Earth Mother. Some will say that the path ahead is in fact the road, building a road to Mars, and that by building a road to Mars we'll solve the problems here on Earth. And you know who I'm referring to. We say simply that the road ahead, or the path, is a spiritual path, and if you get time to read the website, much of it is based on the Tao Te Ching, and thus a return to the great integrity, a return to the yin. So I'd like to share a story which comes from the tribes, the North American Indian tribes. It's a story that has been handed down, and there are many combinations and variations of it. But nearby us is a source of knowledge and wisdom. I'll just wait for Steve to arrive because I'd like him to hear this part of it. Nearby us is a source of wisdom and knowledge. And it may be in a cave near you, and that cave can be anywhere in the world. It just so happens that I'm taking that cave to be nearby, and you know where I'm referring to. And inside that cave is an old woman. And she is weaving the most beautiful garment the world has ever seen. And as she gets to doing the hem, there is so much detail in the garment that she is using porcupine quills, and to sharpen them she is using her teeth to grind down on them. And she's been doing this for so long that her teeth have been now worn down to the gums. They are just knobs. But every once in a while she needs to go to the back of the cave, because in the back of the cave is a fire, an ancient fire. And above the fire is a cauldron. And inside the cauldron are the seeds of all the plants of the trees and the bushes and the seeds of all the vegetation on the planet. And the old woman's role is to keep stirring so the seeds don't burn. If they burn, of course, we lose the light. So in any event, she gets up to her feet and she proceeds to the back of the cave. And as she gets to the back of the cave, she's stirring away. As she gets there, the old black dog, and you might say, what black dog, gets up from its place in the cave, and seeing a thread of this most beautiful garment, she walks across, takes the thread, and pulls it, and all of a sudden the most beautiful garment is a chaotic mess on the floor. Aha! And of course the old woman returns, and at first she's aghast and but then she collects herself. She goes over towards the garment and she notices there's another thread. That's out of place. So she picks up that thread, and at the moment she picks it up, all of a sudden she has the vision of a new garment, which is more beautiful and brilliant than the first garment. And so, alas, away she goes. The new garment is in the process of being weaved. And so, some of you might say, well, the black dog, well, it's the culprit, but really it's just part of the process. Because it's become obvious that in picking the thread and reweaving, that it's a mirror of what happens in nature and what's happening in the world. There is an unravelling, there is chaos, but at some point we see the thread. And the challenge for those who are here and those who may be listening is to pick up the thread, whatever that may mean. And thus the process of recreating, reimagining a new earth comes about. There's a whole long commentary that flows after that, but I'm going to suggest, before I hand you over to Marta, that whereas when we normally do the earth meditation, there's a long lead-in, but it always ends with one particular section, which is the section which those present are invited to imagine the new earth. And Deuter has kindly given us his permission to use one of his songs. And so, given the story of the old woman and the black dog who lives in the cave, with that as your background, we're going to finish my part today with an invitation for you to imagine the new earth. So I'd ask you to if you would, get into a meditation position. Please don't be too formal. And for starters, that you touch and connect with the earth. And those who are in meditation pose, as you put your hands to the side, I'm going to invite you to breathe in deeply into your belly. Hold and letting out slowly. Just do a moment of Ujjayi breathing, which is full deep breath in to the belly, a short hold, but a long out breath, a long release. Once again, breath in, deep into the belly, the energetic centre of embodied presence. Hold and letting go. And would you believe it, this song of Doita's is in fact Gaia dreaming herself awake. And letting go of all the stories of the day. You may choose to use the 5 sense fields, the 4 elements, however you wish to visualize and to imagine the new earth. And that thread, what does it mean to you? on a new earth. Qualities of compassion and heartfulness will be foundational. And it's been a difficult time, and compassion. We all need also some self-compassion, and I invite you, if you agree with me, you can bring your hand to your heart and deep breath in, out slowly. May I be well. And may I be happy. May I live my life with ease. And may I be safe and free. And may my tribe be well, and may it be happy, and may it live with ease, may we be safe and free. And finally, may all beings be well. May they be happy. May they live their life with ease. And may they be safe and free. And as we sit in close proximity, you are all aware of what is being said on the trauma summits by Porges and Kolk and Siegel and others. Our nervous systems are interacting. So once again, a deep breath, this time into your heart, and we'll get congruence if I understand what these experts are saying. So a deep breath in, this time to your heart, and a slow release, letting go. And last breath in, and a slow release. So coming out slowly, you can do your yoga stretches, although in a moment, when Marta's ready, we will hand over to Marta, and after Marta, I'm hoping that Pratima might have something to say. And she too might do a short meditation. And then of course we have heart chant with Tashito and his crew here, and can't wait to hear them all. And if you want to lead a song, you will no doubt step forward at some time. So thank you for listening. So when you're ready, Marta, just tell me.
Hari Om. Hari Om. So we've been part of a very beautiful visual meditation, the prayer, and the next step for us to go into a little bit of sadhana, into our yoga practice, so that we can see then work with the mind a little bit, following the instructions. But as it's good, and as is recommended by all the yoga gurus, the practice has to be wrapped with like a parcel. And the way we do this in yoga centers and ashrams in the world is to start any practice with 3 Oms chanting and finishing with the 3 Oms chanting as well. So I encourage you all to close the eyes gently. If you feel comfortable, bring yourself upright. Release the shoulders and neck. Release any tension wherever it's not needed. Bring the full awareness to the body. And with simple scanning, becoming aware of each and every part in the body. Breathing in and out, moving the waves of awareness and releasing the tension. So that the Om that we are chanting is reverberating through each and every cell, each and every part of our being, through all the layers. Release the jaw, the shoulders, muscles around the ears. Let the scalp muscles to soften and be smooth. The eyes are gently, very lightly closed. The eyelids are soft, and eyes are resting behind the eyelids. Drop the tongue. Now feel the gravity, the groundness, the weight of the body on the floor, the 2 sitting bones, and the base of the spine. Feel the gentle pull of gravity from underneath, allowing us to release the energy through firm connection with the earth. And above, at the crown space, feel the vast space of infinite space, the container of all the experiences. Become aware of the spine, and for a few moments practice the breathing along the spine, inhaling up along the spine, all the way to the Agya chakra, the 3rd eye. Pause for a moment and release the breath all the way to the root chakra, to the base of the spine. On inhalation, feel the entire physical being. The mind is expanding. Full expansion. And on exhalation, settling more into the straight seated posture. Now start listening to the sounds. Allow the breath to be spontaneous. Feel as the body is becoming stable and solid, still. Connection with the stillness and silence within is happening. Move the awareness in a spiral way around the body, around the environment the body is seated in, and into the outer environment. Allow the mind to be actively participating, moving from one sound to another sound, without inquiring into the origin, the source of the sound. Finding one sound, moving to the other one. finding the most obvious sound, and then moving to the more and more subtle, finding the more subtle sounds in the distance. If the mind drifts away, gently bring it back to listening the sounds, to the sounds. Now shift awareness to the sound of your own breathing, all the way back to the body. Focus at the nose tip and become aware of the flow of air coming through the nostrils, in and out, and the friction that the air is making, rubbing, brushing against the nasal membranes. Listen to your own breathing and the sound that is produced. Each and every breath. Start counting the breaths. 1, Om. 1 out, Om. 2 in, Om. Out, 2, Om. Stringing each and every breath in sequence, developing the homogeneous awareness of the breathing. If the mind is drifting away, bringing back to the counting of your own breathing and listening to the sound that is getting. Let go of the count and follow with the airflow within the heart space. Become aware of the physical placement of the sound, where the air comes into the lungs, the inner chamber of the heart, Anahat chakra, the place of the unstruck sound. You might pick up on the inner sounds of the body, the heart beating, the blood pumping through the blood vessels and veins, arteries. Move deeper within at the Anahat, the place of the unstruck sound, the place of quiet and peace. The place of origin of the primordial sound, the one sound from which all the forms and names manifest, the point of oneness. We are going to chant mantra with full awareness at the heart space. First hear the sound, and then prepare to breathe in fully. Keep the eyes slightly closed. Breathe in. Please stay with the eyes lightly closed. Allow the full introversion to happen. Stay within your own space and become fully aware of the solid posture that the body is sitting in, the asana. Notice how the physical body is seated. Become aware of the body parts, the feet, the right foot, left foot, right entire leg, left entire leg, the right hip bone, the left hip bone, the sitting bones, the tailbone. Gently draw the awareness along the spine, bathing the whole body in your own awareness. Move up the spine, become aware of each and every vertebra, all the way to the neck, and the place where the spine is merging with the skull. Become aware of the head. Move down, washing the body with waves of awareness. Right shoulder, left shoulder, right arm, left arm. Be aware of position of each and every individual finger on the right arm, on the right hand, left hand. Become aware of the torso, the navel center, the heart space, and come to the throat pit. For the next few moments, continue breathing as if the breath is happening through the pit of the throat. Using the Ujjayi breath, the psychic breathing, extending the breath out, gently contract the glottis muscles. Inhaling and exhaling, filtering the breath in and out. Along the spine, moves the breath from the base to the crown. Breathing out, down. Breathing in, out. Following your own length of breath. Full awareness of the spine, spinal breathing. On exhalation, feel fully settled at the base. On inhalation, this time move awareness to the Agya chakra, all the way along the spine, and on top of the spine, inside the skull, right in the middle of the head. Be aware of the seat place of Agya chakra. Pause for a moment and shift the breath down along the spine. Pausing for a moment at Muladhara, at the root chakra. If you are familiar with Kechari Mudra, feel free to roll the tongue up at the soft palate and continue with the Ujjayi breathing and Kechari Mudra. Roll the breath up the spine. Only 2 chakras to be aware of, Muladhara, and when coming to Agya chakra, Agya chakra. Feel the charge of the earth beneath, always receiving and taking the negative charge, and moving up to the top space, positive, feeling like a battery being charged by moving awareness along the spine first. Now let go of the breathing in the spine and become aware of the symmetry in the body. Gently bring awareness back to the physical body. Feel the right side in perfect symmetry with the left side. Solid posture, rigid, fully aware. As the body becomes rigid and still, the mind attains stability and stillness. Release the Ujjayi breath. Now move the awareness fully to the base of the spine and feel the gravity beneath, the weight of the body. The sitting bones, the right and left hip, the buttocks. Feel the whole body is firmly grounded and solid. Notice the body's breathing and notice the qualities of the breath. Notice the temperature of the air coming in and out. Maybe slightly cooler on inhalation, warm on exhale. Notice the pace, the rhythm, if the breathing is rhythmical or arrhythmical. If the breath is shallow or deep. And bring the conscious willpower into deepening the breath. Might flare in the nostrils, might start flaring the nostrils and opening to more air intake. Feel in the lungs. Using the full yogic breath, inhale into the belly, open to the chest, exhale from the chest, exhale from the belly. Inhale into the belly, inhale into the lungs, exhale from the chest, exhale from the belly. Move in the air in the wave-like motion, saturating the entire being with oxygen that is carrying the prana. Shift awareness to the physical body and become aware of various body parts. The entire right arm and hand, left arm and hand, right leg and foot, left leg and foot, the whole trunk, the neck and the head. Gently start externalizing your awareness. Connect with the sensation of the sounds. Start listening to the sounds all around. And this time start naming the sounds, connecting with the source of each and every sound. The creek is running, the bird is chirping, connecting the form and name, the form of the sound and the name. Become aware of the entire dimension of the skin on the body, the largest organ of the body, fully vibrant, continuously working, exchanging, breathing in and expelling all the toxins out. Feel the sensations on the skin, all the sensitive tentacles there of the sensors. Feel the sensations on the skin where it's open. Become aware of the skin under the clothes, the warmth under the clothes. Feel the surface under the base of the body, or the cushions or chair, and all the pressure points and the places where the body is connected to the ground. Become aware of the taste in the mouth. And be fully aware of the vision. Shift awareness behind the closed eyelids and see what forms and colors are manifesting there, what you see. Fully extroverting awareness. Coming fully into the present moment, connecting in the space and time. Fully aware, rested, nourished with awareness and the magic of yoga practices that we have. So we might shift into singing the kirtan together, but perhaps with the shita in the band, and I'll do the kirtan a bit later. Okay? I'll just walk. Yeah. Hari Om.
Hari Om. Thank you, Martha. That was wonderful. And Punya has been so good. She may need a feed. Pratima and Kashita. Punya needs to have priority at the moment, so I need to ask whether you can step forward a little bit out of sync. I know you were thinking to be later than this, but can we be flexible? I would love to hear about the lunar eclipse, but I want to hear heart chant as well. Can you think of how we structure that? How do you read it? Can you come out the front and tell us a little bit about the lunar eclipse for starters, and if you'd like to do a meditation, how are you feeling at the moment? Have I caught you by surprise?
No. We just did a long meditation, so I'll just do the astrology. Unless, what about we sing a song and then we do astrology?
Perfect. Tashida, we caught you off guard.
And just like in between, you know, and then you've got a little bit of music, a little bit of speaking, a little bit of music. Yeah, let's start with a song, and then
Okay, so we'll start off with a chant to Saraswati.
While Tashido is getting ready, can I indicate to you that Daz has arrived and he is, believe me, the master chef. And he's brought some soup.
Yeah, there's some, I made up a soup out there to be a little bit enough to share around, we just be mindful about that. And then there's, I guess there's quite a bit of chai there as well. I put in a big thermos. You can have a 15, 30 litre thermos out there.
So it is waiting for you, but let's let Pratima lead us and Tashida lead us for a little while. Are you okay with that? Or is anyone dying to get into the food? Great, thank you.
Okay, if you need the lyrics, the words, it's number 21 in the chart. Pretty simple.
so no want the lyrics that doesn't go.
Saraswati is the goddess of music and the arts. That's obviously my favorite goddess. And it's based on the scale is the Balinese scale. So we started off with cool response and then we'll all join in on the end.
Pratima, we're in your hands, my friend, at the moment. And I'm hoping, by the way, that Marta, even though Punya is the priority, I'm hoping that you're going to get a chance to still hear her. But no pressure, Marta.
Yes, it's an incredibly important year. The whole year is important. It's been incredibly important since the 12th of January 2020, really. But what's happening now, it's actually today and tomorrow, it depends what part of the year, of the world you're in. But for us, it's actually mostly tomorrow. It's about 1:15 p.m. And it's called a super eclipse, a super full moon, because the moon is closest to the earth as it gets at the moment. And eclipses, of course, historically were scary events. You can imagine, as a medieval man, suddenly the moon or the sun disappears for some, in this case, 90 minutes. So that would have been regarded as, as the world ending. You can see why it was scary. These days we don't think of it as that scary eclipse thing. It's really just indicating that it's a wonderful time for change. And now there's such a lot going on, because obviously you've got the sun and the moon, opposites, and then in exactly 90-degree angle to both of them is Saturn. And Saturn is the planet of, well, it's the planet of the status quo, of constriction, of limitation, of the government, of the things that keep our lives solid and steady. Of course, all these planets have their good and their bad, of course. And so when it's actually in this challenging aspect to the sun and the moon, it can shake us up. But it can shake us up in a wonderful way that brings us to a much greater sensitivity than we normally have. With Saturn square the moon, your relationships can be quite challenged, especially your relationships with women. And so it's a very good time to be very patient and caring and non-reactive, don't go there, just let it pass, because it's one of the hardest, really, Saturn square Pluto for, if you were really in London conversation with your best girlfriend, it's a very delicate time. But because of that, it does bring that opportunity for a more sensitivity for feeling in a greater way than you ever normally can for the other, what the other may be going through. So, it brings its gifts. And then same with the Saturn squaring the Sun, it can mean in our life that things that, and this isn't just today and tomorrow, eclipses, this is the whole month we're really talking about. And especially the whole week with Saturn. Saturn's going to be affecting us for, let's give it a week, either way, on either side of today. And so when you've got the Sun squaring Saturn, things just don't flow really. Projects that you wanted to get on with don't happen. Meetings you wanted to have don't happen. Lots of things can get postponed. But again, the beauty of Saturn is that from that huge choice of things that we can do, we can learn what we can rule out. So what do we really not need? It can show up now for us. Oh, hang on, that isn't really working very well. Oh, it isn't really working very well tomorrow either. Maybe that's not my thing. Maybe I should put in my energy somewhere else. And so that's the gift of Saturn. So allow yourself to hear those messages. Trust that intuition, especially because Pluto is sextiling the moon and trining the sun. I hope it's not the other way around. But either way, it's giving this opportunity for transformation on a very deep level of our being. And so we really can use the Saturn, which is very interesting because Saturn is gone into Aquarius. And that's where it's all going. But at the moment, we have this unusual thing where 7 planets are all in those last 20 degrees, 23 degrees, 25 degrees, 28 degrees. And it's like the ending of an age because of that. And so, we're seeing the struggles that the planet is going through at the moment with this status quo of what's been a lot of Capricorn, Pluto ruling Capricorn, a lot of status quo. And they're trying to control more and more. And as their death pangs happen with the end of all these, coming to the end of all these 20s, 28, 29 degrees, it's like they're trying to hang on even more. And so we're all very aware of the challenges that, especially this area, but so much of the Australia and the world is going through. Be patient, because we are coming through that. We're moving out of this age of ruled mostly by the Earth and these Capricornian limiting values into Aquarius. And that starts happening actually March next year, 23. We first start getting the first signs of Pluto going into Aquarius. And then it comes out again, goes back into Capricorn. Oh, they're going to be hiding on like desperation there. They're going to be trying to put all these new laws in, sneak them in, all these regulations, all these vaccine passports, and they're going to try and throw it all in. But with any luck, they won't have a chance because Pluto goes then into Aquarius from the 21st of January 24 to September. Then it comes out again very briefly, and it finally goes in, which is this Pluto into Aquarius on the 20th of November 2024, and it will be there until 2044. So we're going from 2024 to 2044 when finally it goes into Pisces, and we'll have a whole other interesting new age for the one of us in that room that will still be alive. So it's a question of patience. Now, the only other thing that's happening besides all the outer planets being in these 28, 27, 25 degrees is Jupiter going into Aries, and it's in 0 degrees. And this gives us this, it gives us a break. It gives us a break to be able to come into our own individual powers. And so at the moment we've all been had to be swept along by this Capricornian Saturnian forces, telling us what to do. We've all been, doing what we're told, and good girls and boys. And now this 0 degrees of Jupiter will come in and give us all our individual personal power. And we'll start going, okay, well, hang on a minute, am I going to go along with this, or I know what I think, and I'm going on my own path, and I'm strong in my own path, and I'm going to do that. And that's the gift, and that's where we can go, and that's from now. So it is a very auspicious eclipse, and let's see what happens on the news as well, on the planetary level, but on our internal level. Take it as an opportunity, take it as a gift to let go of the old and bring in the new. And that's the instruction.
The advice of the old lady in the cave.
Yeah.
That was wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Martha, do you want to sing a song?
Yeah. How about another kirtan? Please.
And just before you go on, Martha, Steve, you know the situation. I'm hoping you're not going to chase us out right on.
You can stay all night, I don't care.
There you go.
I have no time, but no time constraints.
Martha, do you need food? Do you need food?
No, I live in Prana. Yeah. Various words. We'll go for different words. Sorry. There is a lot in Sanatana Dharma and Hinduism around Ram. And many of the gurus say that Ram is the highest mantra to recite, because even Buddhist teachings align with this, as they don't really focus much on the lower chakras underneath the navel center, because that's what they say, as Kundalini passes through the navel chakra, then it doesn't have a chance to fall asleep again. But unless we develop the willpower and the strength in the belly, then it tends to come down, up and down, and then again to fall asleep, and we lose our awareness. But Ram, as you might know, is the Bija mantra of navel center. And at the same time, the greatest story of Ramayana, describing all the history of Rama and Sita and his descent on earth as an avatar of Vishnu. And Vishnu descends on earth every time the Dharma falls. After Rama, Krishna came, and after Krishna, Buddha came, and he was so far the latest avatar, and they're waiting for the 10th avatar to come at the end of Kali Yuga. It's a long time ahead of us, 400,000 years ahead of us. So we're just in the beginning of Kali Yuga. It actually started when Krishna died. That's when Dvapara Yuga finished. There are 4 yugas. The age of pure solid consciousness. Then there is Treta Yuga, the age where the consciousness is sort of 75%. And then Dvapara Yuga comes, it's 50% of consciousness. And when Kali Yuga starts, we start with 25% of awareness, consciousness, and dharma. And then Kali Yuga. They fight, there are so many theories, but majority agree that Kali Yuga is presently happening. But it's only the beginning. And in the beginning of Kali Yuga, the first 10,000 years is golden age of Kali Yuga. So we're in a good place still. And they say, by the way, that as consciousness drops down, humans become smaller and smaller and smaller, to the dwarf, to really tiny creatures with a short attention span and very, very busy lives. messy. So when we connect with Ram, we connect with everything which is dharma. The fire, being the purest of all elements that doesn't have qualities, it burns impartially. Everything recedes to the ashes. Water can have different qualities of purity. Earth, the same. Air, sea, it can have various modifications, but fire is the same. So, as yogis, we all worship fire, spiritual fire, that jyoti, the candle flame, on which we meditate for peace and connecting with Guru Tattva, with Parabrahman within, with pure consciousness. But fire allows us to stay upright in integrity and persevere and keep on walking the walk daily. So, Kirtan to Rama. We'll start probably with Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, and then we'll go into Maha Mantra, maybe a little bit to Guru, and to Mother. That's why we're here, and what we are cultivating, the Mother, connection with the Mother, with the pure energy, structuring, developing the boundaries so that we can grow and evolve. Shri Ram, Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. 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 Feel free to close the eyes and follow your feel, the heart. Shri Ram, Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. 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 Your time. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Om Vaheguru, Om Vaheguru, Satyam Vaheguru, Divine Guru, the truth, Satyam. Om Vaheguru, Om Vaheguru, Om Vaheguru, Om lineages of various traditions, of all our yoga teachers who brought us all these amazing techniques of meditations and looking after our body and teaching us the boundaries, teaching us how to create the structure for our studies, for self-exploration, and how to, over the time, purify the body and the inner environment, how to come to the deeper and deeper understanding of the virtue. Thanks to the Trinity, to the Triad, the gods, Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh, manifesting as the three major modes of consciousness, coming through the willpower, knowledge and action. And thanks to our teachers raising our fire that brings the willpower and the knowledge and the action into the place of correct or right conduct. So I using this opportunity because all people here are very experienced with yoga and different world cultures and the wisdom that the original tribes have on the land, the children of the land fully connected to the mother. So I would like to thank us all for coming together for the gatherings like this and helping each other as well in our beautiful, decent work in the community. And it's very important that we keep the practices undiluted, as close as possible to the way the teachers taught us. Coming to the roots, always dig into the roots, like the story with the tree, opening up and seeing where the true essence of knowledge is.
It's
pretty
another
much
song
what I
from
wanted to
Tash
say.
because 4:15.
Yeah. We're going to, I'm over. I finished what I wanted to say. Yeah. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Hari Om. Hari Om.
So before we hand back to Shito, I think I'm on vision there, Steve. I'm not going to be able to acknowledge everyone in the room, but as Marta says, there are some, I don't like saying high quality, there are some well-advanced practitioners in the room, and I just want to acknowledge Marta, in fact, has the little pocket ashram. To my right, Emma, who is one of the Earth tribe who's presented at Temple Byron, has newly created Sacred Hearth Sanctuary, and you'll see Emma again at Temple Byron shortly. But that venue in Main is something that's fallen from the sky. And to my left, Toshito and his group are heart chant. So if you're watching this from overseas, heart chant are generally regarded as the leading kirtan group in Byron Bay. So you've heard some of the good ones, and of course you've also today heard Pratima, who is widely regarded as one of the leading astrologers in Australia, and in fact she is the one who does the astrology at the big festival in Queensland called Woodford. So if you're listening, you've been privileged to hear some quality. Toshito, thank you so much, and can we hand over to you and Paul? And can I just say about the heart chant, I know that they are doing a gig in Murwillumbah next week.
6 o'clock.
Next week. And
Next Thursday.
This Thursday.
And in time we will work out how the tribe gets to work with each other and gets events out together. So thank you.
And that's at 7 o'clock in the Regent Cinema.
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock, and the doors open at 5:30 for food.
the rest of the crew. Nick couldn't make it because of the flooding, and Tara had a workshop as well.
So there were 2 other members of Park Chan. Nick got flooded in, and Tara had a workshop. Dying workshop in Senate.
This one, number 44 in the charts. Blessed we are. Dance on this ground, the rhythm of saints, carry the sound. We hold the breath for the earth, for the ones yet to come. May we all walk in beauty and remember your song. Blessed we are, dance on this ground.
Pratima, wherever you want to take us, whether it's staying here or up towards food, I'm loving your music. And I'm going to try
Should
to
hear the full
negotiate.
band.
Sorry?
Yeah, you should hear the full band. It's only half band too.
Hey, I'm going to have a word to Pratima about the possibility of her featuring next month. A conversation for another day. We haven't seen the end of it yet, and Tashio and Paul. So if you want to do another song, great. You heard what Steve said before. We will need to clean up when we finish here, but the food's up in the house, isn't it?
No, we'll move it up, and we'll heat it up.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we'll go move it up, heat it up there later.
So if you can give us another song, great. If you're worn out, that's also perfectly okay.
Tasha's never worn out.
He's just warming up.
Yeah.
So we go.
So like that.
Yeah, it's the right tree, because
One more. This is number 38, the Gayatri Mantra.
Thank you.
The jazz version. Feel free to dance around if you want to.
Thank
Paul. And thank you everyone for coming. Can I get a quick indication without making any promises, but in the conversation that I have with Steve in the next few days, if we tidy up this event, we might even be able to fit more people into it. And I'll have a chat to Marta and Pratima and people like that, key people in this tribe, and Emma, but is it an event that you might attend on an ongoing basis? Is there, I don't need a show of hands. You can
Once a
just
month.
nod.
Once a month.
Once a month, the third Sunday of each month. And we'll try to be a lot tighter next time. We'll start right on 2, etc., etc., etc. We might even have the third ready when you arrive. Steve, thank you for the encouragement.
Thank you, Stephen.
That's fabulous.
And thank you for the story about the tree.
Yeah.
It fits in with the old lady in the cave. So there's some food up there, and Daz is, as I said, the master chef. If you want to come up, you can have something to eat.
Yeah.
And we'll try to tidy up before. Can we have some food first and then do this, or we should tidy up here
No, we'll
first?
bring the food up because it's just here. We'll just put it on the deck. So when we go up the driveway, you can see the grass. Walk on the grass. It's a little bit damp, but not bad. And then onto the big deck in the back of my house. And we'll lay out the food there and the shower
Perfect.
and all that. And then we'll do this later.
Thanks.
Yeah.
You've turned off? Did you post?
No, it's still going.
Oh, I beg your pardon. So you just hit the.
Finish. Yeah.